Do you know how much it's costing you to wait for the interest rates to come down? You know, many times people ask me, hey Martin, when are the interest rates going to drop? And I'll say, well, what rate are you looking for? You know, if they tell me 3%, I sort of add a little humor and I'll say, well, how long do you expect to live? You know, the real question is, how long are you willing to wait? So if you say, Martin, we'll wait 2 years, right? It says, well, you could potentially lose $40,000 if you wait for 2 years. And let me show you how that's going to work. So what we've got right here, we've got a house property that sells in Ann Arbor $500,000. Now today, the interest rate's 6.8%. Now one thing I want to point out here, the appreciation right now historically has always been 4% per year for housing, and there is nothing on the horizon right now in Ann Arbor indicating that that's going to stop. If you just look at the one stat, that listing inventory for May is down 16% from last May. So if someone buys that house today at a 6.8% interest rate, the payment's going to be $2,933. Now if you could get that same house at 5%, which you can't, you'd be at $2,415. Now the difference there is $518 per month, which means if you went ahead and bought it at 6.8%, it's going to be $6,216 higher than if you waited a year to try to get it at 5%. So in 1 year then, what you can say is, you know what, I didn't wait for rates to come down. I purchased at 6.8 because I need a house. So it did cost me $6,216 because I was hoping for a 5% mortgage, right? But meanwhile, at the end of the year, you've made $20,000 in equity. It's costing you $6,216 in higher interest payments, which means you're ahead $13,784. So as you can tell, by waiting for the rates to come down, in the long run, you're probably going to be on the losing end. Now, other thing you need to consider, you know, for every 1% that the interest rates come down, a buyer can afford 10% more property. So even should the rates come down to 5, there's going to be a surge of buyers because affordability will be increased, and the rate's something that's going to motivate people to do something, right? And so even if you did wait and the rates came down to 5%, you might even be paying a higher price because the buyer demand will be so much stronger. So regarding what's going on right now in the Ann Arbor real estate market, as I mentioned, the inventory is down 16% from last year, May. And the other part I want to point out is, and this is a number we're really watching, is the pending sales right now is down 59% from last May, and which is telling me that the sales are slowing down a little bit, and we're seeing that in the office. Many of our listings now, we're not getting as many showings, and many times we're ending up with maybe 1, maybe 2 offers on the property. So we are seeing a little bit of a cushioning here, and but the bottom line is this: it's still an excellent market for sellers to sell your homes. You're getting top dollar, and buyers, it's getting a little bit easier as the competition is not as strong. So if you have any questions about the market, feel free, give us a call. You can reach me at 734-761-3060.